Hey everyone, this is a video about LEGO Video, the theme that they have finally unveiled fully after having teased it for quite some time. If you're not familiar with it yet, I will try to give you a little bit of an overview about it, but you can find out more information at lego.com. I'm mostly going to focus in this video on my thoughts about the theme. Overall, this is a partnership that LEGO is doing with Universal Music Group to provide an app-based experience for kids to make their own music videos using some LEGO products in them. So the sets that have been unveiled so far are grouped into two types. There are beat boxes, each of which comes with a single interesting minifigure and some things they call beat bits, which are 2x2 printed tiles that basically turn into buttons in the video app, and you can use them for special effects and sound effects and to create some dance moves and things. And then the other group of products that LEGO unveiled are the blind boxes, which give you band mates. They call them band mate packs. Each one, again, gives you just one minifigure, fewer this time of the beat bits and less of everything else. Now, everything about video is really focused on that app experience. It's an augmented reality experience similar to what they did with Hidden Side, but here it's a real strong focus on figures themselves. And of course, you can put yourself into the scene because in the background behind the computer-generated, computer-rendered animations of minifigures is real life. So you can set up your phone somewhere where it has a nice angle, and then you can run in there, you can bring friends in there and whatnot. And then you go and you perform for up to 60 seconds maximum. So they're kind of trying to go after the TikTok, short form video sort of thing. And then once you're done, you can save that performance and you can share it only in the video app. So through the LEGO Life system, where they've actually got real human moderators checking every single submission to make sure that young kids aren't doing something that can be troublesome for them or can create privacy issues. So they're actually not going to allow you to upload publicly within the app anything that has a child in it or anything that has a human being in it. That said, on day one of the announcement, as soon as I went into the app myself, one of the first things that they recommended for me to check out was a video that somebody had submitted, and there's a kid's face right there, a young kid's face right there, super close to the camera, super clear. So they're actually not doing a good job of that to start with. Let's go ahead and look at the products individually, starting with the beat boxes. One of the ones that people have been most interested in, most looking forward to from what I've seen, is the Party Llama beat box, which comes with a figure with a brand new mold. A bunch of these are going to have brand new molds, and some pretty exciting, very colorful prints for the torso and the hip and the leg pieces. Each of these beat box sets comes with a large selection of the 2x2 beat bit pieces. And from what I understand, 2 of them in each of these beat boxes will be unique to that beat box. And then the rest of them will just be randomized out of a selection of around 130 different ones that they've done. For the most part, what you're paying for here, though, is DLC, downloadable content that goes into the game, just purely digital stuff that you access and unlock, really, via scanning those beat bits, and then the packaging. So, you have the box there, which is just, it's a cool looking little box, but looks like a fairly expensive thing, has some interesting new pieces in it. And then they have the little stage that allows you to set up and basically pick the beat bits that you're going to use in a specific performance. And the minifigure almost feels like it's the least thing that you're paying for here. The price is $20 for one of these. $20 for one figure, a bunch of tiles, and essentially a box. Here's the Hip Hop Robot beat box, and this one just has a unique mold for its headgear piece. Goes on basically as a dual molded hair piece over a regular minifig head underneath. This one gets a couple of extra arms via just an attachment, a standard attachment on the back. And again, everything else is set up pretty much the same. So, the differences here are the minifig, the 2 exclusive beat bits, and the colors and tiles and things and small accessories that are used for the packaging. But basically we can move on fairly quickly. The Unicorn DJ Beatbox is another one that has a full head. That is an entirely new mold, and that is dual molded once again. Lots of interesting prints on this one, including prints going down the sides. I mean, they really went in on the design work, the graphic design work for these, so I can definitely give them that. And I actually like the color scheme that they use for the packaging for this one. I think it just works out pretty nicely. I like those round pieces, the 4x4 round pieces that are a little bit shallow in height, used on the sides to kind of look like the ear muff section of, or ear cup section of the headphones is what they're going for there. The Alien DJ Beatbox, for some reason, has the minifigure dabbing on the main hero art on the front of the box, which shows you just how long ago they started developing this. I don't know why they didn't update the moves since then, but yeah, that is what it is. I personally like that figure a lot. It's one of the ones that I personally am looking forward to getting the most. I mean, forget about the video theme itself, forget about the app and all that experience, which again is almost exclusively digital. But I just like that figure. I want to see a little bit more about how it's actually made as well, because you can see clearly that it is dual molded for the main headgear piece there, with the white and frosted translite blue, I believe. Looks like you can see through there a bit, but yeah, I'm curious about that one. Looks pretty cool. Here's the Punk Pirate Beatbox. I like his anchor axe there. I think that was just a good idea. Maybe not the best color scheme for it, doesn't stand out the most. I'm also personally not the biggest fan of the colors used for the headgear piece for this guy, with the coral for the headband, and then just the design of the mohawk there in teal. I don't know, it just feels a little bit low res compared to all the rest of it. You know, the face is nice, all the printing on this thing is really nice, but I feel like just the physical design of the headgear piece isn't the best, and also, again, the color scheme. And then we get to the Candy Mermaid Beatbox. This one is done pretty well. I feel like it'll sell pretty well, if nothing else, for the figure. Now, this one gets an exclusive print for the guitar there, but not a new mold for it. She does get a new mold for the hairpiece, and that's a very nice piece, which also has some printing on it, and I definitely expect to see that used for other figures in the future, in different themes, in different colors, possibly with different prints again as well. It's just a good thing, I think, to have in the LEGO part inventory, and I feel like it's done well. This is also a new mold for the mermaid base. You got the waffle cone style there, which is interesting. I just think that the design of the mold is really good. I think it may be the best mermaid base that they've done to date. You know, they've done a number of them in the past, and this one feels like it's just shaped really well. And then looking at the bandmates, these are sold separately. So each one is one figure and one accessory and the little stand with 3 of the Beat Bits. These cost $5 a piece, and they are boxed. They are not blind bags anymore. We'll talk more about that in a minute. The first row has the Bunny Dancer, Banshee Singer, and Ice Cream Saxophonist. I feel like a lot of people are going to go for the Ice Cream Saxophonist again to get the figure. I feel like the Banshee Singer looks pretty good as well. I believe that's a new color scheme for that lower ethereal kind of ghostly legs piece with the trans bright green, and it's dual molded with some black in there. Personally, not a big fan of the Bunny Dancer, but that's just me. Moving on to the second row there, the leftmost figure is the Disco Boy or Disco Boy. It's Disco Cowboy, so Disco Boy. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but an interesting combination of a couple things together. In the center is the DJ Cheetah, and on the right is the Cotton Candy Cheerleader. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's a new color for the pom-poms, and those will be pretty useful for some custom builds. I think people will use those to represent all sorts of different things. Just a really useful piece generally to get you something that doesn't look typically Lego-like in the texture and shape and size. I'm going to move to the third row on the far left there. This is an interesting one, an interesting choice of animal to anthropomorphize. Anthropomorphose? What is it? Red Panda Dancer. When I saw that figure, I was like, is that a red panda? Indeed, it is the Red Panda Dancer, the first ever red panda from Lego, at least in minifig form. I A cool animal in real life. I'm not sure about this one in minifig form. I actually personally, on this row, like better the next one over, the alien keytarist. Now notice that the keytar there has the keys printed the correct way, unlike the first one that they did. And the main color there is teal. And this is an interesting looking figure. I like the print for the torso. I like the print for the head and then the headgear piece. Hopefully they will use that headgear piece again with different colors, in the future. Then finally over on the right, that's the Genie Dancer. With this one, I personally am not a big fan of the color scheme overall. I like some of the individual choices for the pieces, but they just don't go that well together to me on the whole. However, I'm very happy to see the tambourine piece, the first official Lego tambourine. Good part to have, and I think a lot of people enjoy using just that accessory, if nothing else, in other little musical productions in their own physical Lego worlds. And finally, we get to the last row down there on the left. Obviously, that's the werewolf drummer. So for drumsticks, he gets a couple of bones. I've seen that werewolf headpiece before. In the center, shark singer. That one works for me. I like that. This is a case where I think the combination of the teal and the coral works out really well. I'm curious to see what that looks like from some different angles and if this is the type of thing that they might end up using in the future, again, with some different color schemes. And last but not least, on the right is the samurai wrapper. What do they got going on for I see what they got going on for the headgear piece, right? They've put it in purple, okay. But then why does he have a breathing device? What is that? Or is that supposed to represent a harmonica? In this case, I don't know. I'm very confused by this one. Honestly, I'm more than a little bit confused about a lot of things for this theme. There are a number of things that seem kind of wrong about it from the start. First of all, it is primarily focused on that app experience. It's all about getting into your phone or mobile device of some sort that will actually support the app, and then just looking at it and pushing buttons on the screen. Don't tell anybody, but you don't even have to get any of the minifigures. You don't have to get the Beatbox packs. You don't have to get the Bandmates packs at all. All you need to do is take your phone and point it at a picture of the product. As long as it's set up right in the picture, you can scan in the thing as if you had the product. So you get the DLC right there, and they provide pictures for all of the Beatbox. Lego has provided pictures for all the Beatbox sets that are set up properly to get you a successful scan. For the Bandmate ones, you have to Photoshop a little bit to move the figure on top of the little scan table stage, they call it, with the 3 beat bits on it. You just have to move the figure on top of that, and then you get a successful scan. So I was able to get all the figures myself already, at least all the ones that I personally was interested in. And then I tried it out, and it's not that exciting. There's at least at this time, there's a limited number of options for music. And then the beat bit things that they tout so much, and they have so many of them, they don't do all that much cool stuff. You will get bored of them very, very quickly. You try something a couple times and then you're done. Maybe this will be a little bit more fun for kids to use with friends and siblings and stuff, where they actually have, a kid will be in the screen, will be in the performance area amongst the minifigs. Of course, they won't see the figures from their perspective unless you have like a mirrored setup where you've got a device that's going to be capturing your mobile device's output in real time and then showing it. I don't know. The technology, fundamentally, the play pattern for it doesn't seem to make that much sense. It seems like you'll get the most use out of this just using it through the app yourself, by yourself, and just playing with the minifigures. And even at that, you're not going to see much really happening. It's not that exciting. I already mentioned that, the whole sharing thing, they tried to make it very safe for kids, but obviously they're not even doing a good job of that just yet. And even amongst other things, that don't have kids' faces in there, you can just scroll through right now and see like insides of people's rooms in detail. Like, there has to be a lot of stuff that's being shown that really shouldn't be shown to the world. And if there are names on walls and pictures on walls and stuff, if somebody can zoom into that, I don't know, it just doesn't seem all that well thought out. It seems like there are going to be a lot more things going wrong with it than going right as far as keeping things safe for kids and really holding up to their promise to parents to be a fully safe space and a fully private space for kids. Then there's the price. All right, we'll come back to that. The beatboxes at $20 a piece are ridiculously overpriced. It's not even in a reasonable range. There is no way that I can justify that price myself of $20 for one minifigure, essentially a fancy box for that minifigure, and a selection of printed 2x2 tiles. I want so many of those tiles myself to use in my city. I want to replace a lot of the generic record envelopes. What do you call those? Record sheet? I forget the name. The things that the sleeves that records come into, the covers. I want to replace a bunch of those in my own custom music store, and probably make another music store or something, because it's very inspiring, all these different prints that they came out with. But $20 for one of these packs with just some of those, one minifigure, is out of the question. It doesn't make any sense. I don't care about the logistics behind the scenes of paying for the partnership with Universal Music Group, the license fees for the licensed music that's been cleared for use within this app, probably unlimited use within this app and everything. I don't care about any of that, because ultimately somebody walking into a store and looking to purchase a product is going to have to throw down $20 to get a very small amount of stuff. And the experience within the app, you don't need to pay for. It's a free app. You download it. They give you free trial content. And like I said, you can just cheat it so easily. It's not even like hacking. There's nothing difficult involved about it. There's nothing tricky involved about it. You just take a picture and you're done. And then the bandmates at $5 a piece, that's a little bit more, close to kind of reasonable. They have been selling the collectible minifigures already at $5 a piece, which feels like a bit much. It does kind of follow along with the progress of inflation. May have gotten a little bit ahead of it, but it's not really that unreasonable. But I can definitely understand that a lot of people are tired of seeing the price go up by $1 per figure, over time, multiple times. It feels a little bit rough. More rough, though, is that if you want to get a specific figure, because you're interested in the figures, right? You want the physical stuff. Okay, the app stuff, whether you like it or not, it's all well and good. But what if you want that ice cream guy in particular? These come in boxes now, so you can't feel for them, and they're not going to have any identifying marks on the outside to let you know what's inside. I think that's terrible. I think that's a step backwards. I already have for a long time been tired of blind bags. I'm so tired of blind bags. The idea that if you want a particular thing, you have to go into a store and then sit there crinkling this thing, looking like a dork, trying to figure out, see which is this the piece, and on release weeks when new collectible minifigure series came out, of course, before COVID and all, but you'd see just a bunch of people just crowded around, just going, and it's kind of ridiculous. Like, let people just buy what they want. They've actually done really well with the dots theme, the dots blind bags of sorts. They have windows, so you can see what's inside. So if you're looking for a particular relatively rare little printed 1x1, you can spend some time and you can see it. With what they've done with video for their blind boxes now, it's the opposite. Made it impossible now to tell what's inside. So you're going to see a lot of theft. I guarantee you 100%. This is going to drive so much theft at retail locations, especially Walmarts have already had a huge problem with that, with a number of products like that in the past, including blind bags themselves, where stuff will just be open and it'll just be open it up, take the figure out, and throw the evidence back there and just pocket the thing. With boxes, it's asking for it. It's easier to open boxes in the first place. And secondly, you don't even have a way of target selecting something in advance, of You don't have any option for finding out what is inside of a given box. I think that's just a really, really poor idea. And yes, Bricklink exists. Yes, eBay exists, but Lego does not design its new products for Bricklink. It doesn't design them for eBay. And these alternative services should not need to be used. If somebody wants to just buy a minifigure, they should be able to just buy that minifigure. And Lego has just made it essentially impossible through standard retail means. And that's unfortunate, especially with the increase in cost. So overall, I personally like some of the prints, some of the new colors, some of the new accessories, some of the new molds. Stuff that's done with the minifigures, cool. The app, don't really care about myself. I don't think it's going to get a lot of use. I think that it's going to be one of these things that a lot of people will try and they'll just get bored of it because there's not all that much you can do with it. And the entire system just feels like it has so many holes in it. I don't get it. I am a glass half full person. Anybody who's watched my channel for more than a couple days knows that. I look for the good in things. I look for opportunities to enjoy stuff, especially Lego stuff. These are toys. They're supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun with them, then either they are wrong or you should look at something else that you will enjoy. I enjoy Lego in general, but I don't think I'm going to enjoy this video theme, and I don't think that nearly as many people are going to enjoy it as would have had it been designed with some sort of sense and had it been offered up at something close to reasonable prices, especially with those beat boxes. It just doesn't make any sense. So much of this doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I'm going to call this one almost dead on arrival. And I don't like to use hyperbole. I don't like to go into this is terrible. Lego's done a new thing and I don't understand it, therefore it's terrible. That's not my thing. But I've looked at this, I've given it a good shot. I've really thought about it from not just my own personal perspective as an adult fan of Lego, but thinking about the perspective of kids, thinking about the perspective of parents as well, who actually have to buy this stuff, then have to worry about the online experience of it, what kids are going to do with it and all. Just nothing adds up to me personally. So I'm not going to say anything more. I think I've said just about all I need to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have a negative view on a major new project from Lego. I just feel like they missed the mark in so many ways. Let me know what you think, though. Let me know if there's anything that you think I'm just missing completely. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon.